hit the like button, whatever it is, because we got everything y'all need, man. Listen, and what you ain't looking for, you gonna be looking for it then.
Scribe or Deebo gonna whoop your ass.
Let's get over here to the NFLPA. I guess the NFLPA interim director David White says an 18 game schedule is not inevitable. What do you think of that comment, bro?
Man, they tripping. They just trying to get more and more bag.
As far as him saying that it's not inevitable, for me, that's an absolute lie. That is inevitable. That is going to be one of the things that the NFL is going to want when it comes time for them to renegotiate this new collective bargaining agreement. With that being said, him not saying it's not inevitable, it is inevitable. It's going to happen. And if you're saying that it's not, I don't believe you've got yourself into a situation that you understand.
You think he's lying to you.
What is going on, obviously, and you haven't been through the history of how this whole thing has went down. I don't know if you were playing when Gene Upshaw was in the position that he's in now as the executive director. So when Gene was in there, he had told us, dude, this was like 2007, 2008. He was like, yo, the NFL is going to lock you out. You guys need to save up money, and you need to save up 100% of what it is that you make over the course of the next, I believe he said 2 or 3 years at that time, to make sure you can make it through a 12-month lockout. Because he said come 2011, they're going to lock us out. He ended up not making it to that. He ended up passing, I believe it was 2008. And then we got the worst commissioner to ever, we got the worst executive director to ever have. And that was D. Smith. D. Smith did everything possible, dude, to just increase the power that he had as the NFLPA, executive director for the players. It wasn't anything, you know what I'm saying? He made it to where he took a lot of the power away from the players being able to make the decisions of who could actually even be voted in as a executive director. He put a whole executive committee together that actually voted on who would run against him. The committee he put together voted on who would run against him and took that vote away from the players, where before the players actually made the vote of, who it is they wanted to run. And then from there, they voted on, who would do it. I don't believe David White has a good understanding. Prime example, I went down to the facility yesterday, the Steelers facility yesterday, and he was supposed to be down there. I believe it was him, Don Davis, who is the chief player officer, and Jalen Maven, I believe is his name. I really don't know. He's supposed to be the president of active players. He's not even an active player right now himself. He's not even on a roster, but they were supposed to be there. And this is supposed to be his very first trip to Pittsburgh, and he doesn't even show up.
No.
Bruh, he doesn't even show up for it, right? So now, like, even D. Smith, as bad as he was, came and showed up when he was supposed to show up. So you're telling me,
no, that's great. That's
interim executive director for his first trip, introduction to the group of guys he's supposed to be, out here working for and defending, doesn't even show up. Your chief officer, your chief player officer, he doesn't show up. All three of these dudes don't show up. And on top of that,
did they send a message? Did they send an email?
No. I knew of nothing why they weren't showing up. You had a couple other NFLPA reps that showed up that assumed that they were already there. And I'm like, no, they're not there. They're not on the field. So The NFLPA leadership, dude, is weak at every level. We need strong leadership.
We need competent leadership. You're not going to show up.
Here's the crazy thing,
bro. It doesn't make any sense.
Before the last one, I went and was like, yo, I want to run for, executive director. I told Don Davis this. He never dropped my name in a hat. I know this for a fact because I talked to a person that is now
Deebo.
Executive committee.
This is what I'm saying.
And you know why that happened? Because he was trying to get it.
Deebo, what was
currently trying to get it now. But again, man, I'm running for executive director. My name will be in a hat. It will be there. So the leadership that we need is a guy that is like Gene Upshaw was. He was a guy that played the game. He understands what we go through. Mm-hmm. He understands what happens. Like, I'm a guy, I was a practice squad guy. I was a guy that was a minimum guy. I was a guy that actually made money.
Contract values,
and I'm a guy that's retired right now. So I know all the things that we're going to that we go through, that we've been through, and you're going to go through when that time comes that you're, done with football or football is done with you, and it's just, the difficulty. I'll just bring up one little thing, like your HRA. You got all that money in your HRA, right? And that's for when you get done, you got your health reimbursement stuff, so you can get your insurance paid and all that stuff, right? Well, for you to get that reimbursement, the money's here, right? The money's here, but the money is there. But what you got to do to get to it, you don't know. It's a field of broken glass you got to crawl through. Dude, it took me almost 2 hours and 34 minutes just to get back $50 of reimbursement of a credit thing. And that was only because I got lucky and got a hold of a Cigna person that sat down there with me and actually called the other insurance company. It's things like that guys are running into. So when you have guys that are retired and they're like, I can't get this, I can't get that. And, you tell them, get your HRA. Well, yeah, it's there. He just can't get to it because he got to crawl across this glass that he can't get to. And if you're a guy that has a regular 9 to 5, they're only open regular hours. So you don't have the time to sit there and do all that to actually, go through if you learn it. I actually talked to 4 different people before I got one guy that actually sat down there with me on the phone for, like I said, 2 hours and 34 minutes and went through the process to show me how it was done. With that being said, I'm just concerned that as interim, I hope it's just the interim, because we need somebody in there that knows exactly what we go through, what we're going to go through, that can go in there and actually speak for the players, that's trying to make it better for the players and not trying to make it better for them to keep power, position, and money. That's all I was saying.
No, I ain't gonna lie to you, Deebo. You speaking facts, brother. You are. Because at the end of the day, you're not looking for any particular, you don't want to gain anything. You want to help people out. Like, you've been in the situation, like you said, you were undrafted. You ended up being minimum. You had a contract and now you're retired, grown, kids, everything, the whole situation. So you've seen it on so many different levels that you're not trying to act a certain way. No, you just know that it's hard once you get retired and trying to figure some stuff out of the situations, like just how to continue to keep going. And you just want to look out for the dudes that are in the league that know your time's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sweet once it is, but once you get out, you really need to have people that are trying to protect you and not looking for a gain, not looking for themselves to get. Literally, you don't want it for yourself. You're looking out for the next generation. So I think that's
exactly. I can't get nothing from it now. Like, I'm done. It's about the future of the guys.
I'm with you. Man. What's the position that we looking for you to get, Deebo? We want you to be president.
We want me to be the executive director of the NFLPA.
Executive.
That's what we're shooting for. That is what we're going for, dude.
I'm done.
Okay.
Look, it's done. Executive director of the NFLPA. Deebo, because I ain't gonna lie to you though, I love when it matches. It's not like we trying to do something that doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense. You deserve to be the NFL executive director of the NFLPA because you're going to do what needs to be done for the players. You're not trying to get over. You're trying to look out, and that's what the NFLPA is supposed to do. Look out for the players. Look out for the guys.
Yes, and I think when Gene, passed and it was passed over, or they voted for D. Smith, it didn't become that. Like, no longer did we hear, "Hey, stave up, it's going to be a lockout," and all that other stuff. Like, he was telling us that, like, in 2007. Gene was telling us that in 2007. Yo, they're going to lock us out. You guys need to save up and make sure you can make it through a year.
Mm-hmm.
D got in there, and all of a sudden it was like, yeah, what happened to what Gene was saying?
Yeah.
Oh, and then come the last hour, they're like, oh yeah, they're going to lock you out. We're going to try and help guys with this and that. Dude, if guys had listened from the very beginning and you continued to push that as you should have, instead of it being they could lock us out, so make sure you save something, then guys wouldn't have been able to hold out. But at the end of the day, even though the guys that, were able to do it or wasn't able to do it, the message should have been the same.
Yeah.
And when it came down to it, you should have been the guy as the executive director to do the hard thing and make it to where guys would get exactly what they wanted. Some people got to learn hard lessons the hard way. Everybody was told the same thing.
Yeah.
So just because, he told me, well, James, we had a certain percentage of guys that just, they wanted to go back. They couldn't. I'm like, dude, you're not there for a certain percentage of guys. You're there for everybody. You're there for the NFLPA, the NFLPA. That's all players, not the ones that just didn't listen. Like, you're trying to make it better. I'm not going to let my son do something that I know is not going to benefit him in his future just because he wants to do it right now.
Short term.
Or he wants something for the short term, Like, it just didn't make sense, man. And you go that long just to come out with a deal that, it wasn't even worth going through the fight of it. Like, it wasn't even a fight when it came down to it, man.